Joining us now is Brent Sadler. He's a Naval Warfare Senior Research Fellow at the Heritage Foundation. We don't want to make any assumptions here, Brent, but I assume, given the amount of debris that there is in the ocean floor related to the Titanic itself, that the U.S. Coast Guard would not have put out a tweet saying that it had found a debris field and scheduled a briefing unless they had something that really connected this to the Titan and to OceanGate. What are your thoughts?
Well, like Brad was saying earlier, as a fellow submariner, they need to confirm by bringing that debris to the surface and then have it positively connected with the Titan submersible. There is, new debris all the time falling into the ocean's floor and moving around from undersea currents. So it could be something completely unrelated. And they may also want to put out news that now they've confirmed that it isn't from the Titan. But big news will be coming, I guess, at 3 o'clock.
We just don't know. We don't know whether or not they're going to confirm a piece of that debris belongs to the Titan or maybe it does not. We just don't know yet. As far as this search ongoing, I think the question of the hour is at 3 o'clock, if they announce that it is part of the Titan, do they continue search and rescue missions or does that become search and recovery missions? We just don't know a lot at this hour. What do you estimate is going into their calculations right now?
Well, it's very likely they're continuing the search for the submersible until they have positive confirmation that the debris indicates an implosion, which I think increasingly is what is likely, unfortunately, for the five crew members of that. But they're probably still doing the search, hoping that they'll find it with the people on board still alive. Though, of course, the hours we're beyond the 96-hour limit now. So if they took measures to reduce the amount of oxygen they're consuming, there's still some slim hope if this debris field is not positively confirmed as coming from Titan.
Right. Again, Brent, I don't know why the Coast Guard would announce that they found a debris field unless they thought that it had some connection. But let me go to the construction of this craft because
yes.
This is obviously integral to this whole case here. Most bathyscaphs or deep diving submersibles that I've ever seen, the crew compartment is spherical in design so that it gets compressed equally on all sides. This was more of a tubular design, which was very unusual. CBS Sunday Morning got a chance to get inside this craft. Let's take a look at this excerpt from the report on that.
We only have one button, that's it. It should be like an elevator. It shouldn't take a lot of skill.
I couldn't help noticing how many pieces of this sub seemed improvised.
I got these from Camper World. We run the whole thing with this game controller.
Come on!
It seems like this submersible has some elements of MacGyver-y jerry-riggedness. I mean, you're putting construction pipes as ballast.
I don't know if I'd use that description of it. The pressure vessel is not MacGyver at all. Everything else can fail. Your thrusters can go, your lights can go, you're still going to be safe.
In a separate Sunday Morning piece that he did with my former colleague Chip Reed, Stockton Rush said that when this thing is tested out, he thinks it will be invulnerable. And Chip remarked to him, that's about what they said about the Titanic itself. I mean, I hope there's not some tragic irony in what he said there. But when you take a look at the construction of this, this was a very different technology than what we've seen before. This tubular design of the passenger compartment with a hemispherical head on one side. It seems to me as though, and I don't know a lot about ocean engineering, but it seems to me as though the pressure and the stresses would not be universal on this, that would be different in different places.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, the parts that stuck out to me, there's a couple of details that came out in the last few days. One, in the design, you have a titanium, also made it to like a fiber, carbon fiber, which is, I guess, the cutting edge technology, the innovation for this design. The spherical or the hot dog looking shape of this and the spherical end on one, those are not necessarily that innovative. It's, you want a round shape to distribute or to kind of maximize the equalization of the pressure that's, of course, is acting on it. But that two materials, the carbon fiber and the titanium, that struck me as interesting. But the other detail came out, and this is another element beyond design, it's also the maintenance and the upkeep of this is also very key. And that is that after, I guess, a number of dives, this vessel had some deformation. And I guess their system or whatever picked up on it, but it still caused some hull deformations that they had to fix. That indicates there might have been some design flaws that weren't previously known, and certainly indicates maybe not quality assurance, or what we would call in the submarine force a sub-safe, to make sure that all the parts are up to the quality standards to ensure that it can go to test depth. In this case, down beyond 13,000 feet.
Would you have taken a trip on this?
From what I heard on the non-disclosure agreement, I probably would have balked and would have started asking a lot of nagging questions, having been on a submarine for many years.
Yeah, we heard that the waiver that folks sign does stress the possibility that the trip that you take on that submarine may be the last thing that you do. Hopefully it wasn't in this case. Brent Sadler, good to have you on. Thank you. Stay with us throughout the afternoon if you could. Appreciate it.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.